Hi friends, good day. Hope you might have gone through the last class. The last class I've explained you up to first problem. Transaction number O has been completed. Now I told you the remaining problem I'll be continuing today. The last class. Let me start with transaction P. Received a check from customer. Received a check from a customer. Received a check from a customer, Shyam, at 3 p.m. I'll be giving two transactions to explain this together. Then Q deposited Shyam's check next day. See, received a check from a customer Shyam at 3 p.m. Deposited Shyam checks next day. What do you mean by this? I think I told you whenever you receive a check, you will be depositing the check into bank. But here he has given time at 3 p.m. received a check. So then normally depending upon the business hours, sometimes bank depending upon their office timings, each bank at each branch they're having their own timings. Of course now they are having like some national banks maintaining the same timings throughout the various places, but earlier some banks used to have functioning from morning 9 to 1 or 9 to 3, like that. Some banks used to have functioning from 10 to 4, like that, business hours, etc. Now 3 p.m. the check has been received. So maybe by the time he goes to a bank after receiving the check, first he has to make an entry, then he has to fill up the remittance coupon. You know, remittance coupon, deposit. You need to fill up that deposit slip, pay-in slip it is also called as, and that you should take, and then you should go to a bank. Maybe your bank is far away from your business. I think these things generally it may not be possible for them to deposit a check on the same day. Now the thing is that when check has been received, a transaction has been given, and that check has been deposited to bank next day. So what is to be done now? It's very interesting point. They received a check from a customer Shyam at 3 p.m. deposit Shyam check next day means, then what shall we assume? Actually this we will be learning in 3-column cash book, but since it has been given, let me explain. Then again we repeat there when we go to 3-column cash book chapter. When received check is not deposited into bank on the same day, we shall assume as if cash is being received. Okay, so if check is received, is not deposited to bank on the same day, we shall assume that as if cash is being received on that day, because you should make an entry. Simple words, the check is as good as cash. If I am having check, I am having confidence. Okay, if not today, tomorrow I can deposit and I can encash the check. Cashment of check means I can get the money back. So generally where you keep the checkbook? Along with your cash currency, wherever you keep in your almare, or it is also called the till box. Till box, where you keep all your money, is called as till box or a teller or whatever different terms we use. There you will be keeping it. That means it is as good as cash. So on that principle we assume that as if cash is being received. If then you may ask me a question, if you don't write entry, what will happen, sir? Okay, if you don't write an entry, what will happen means, okay, say on 15th January you are supposed to receive a check from your customer as he has promised, and if he is not making payment, then you may be calling him that You said today you are going to make a payment, so far we have not received. Then what happens? Even though after receiving a check from a customer, if you give a call to him because of not recording the check that has been received in your books, then what happens? Unnecessarily your relationship may be affected. When you, after making payment by him, if you keep on calling him, then you will be definitely disturbing him. That is why you can see nowadays you are getting SMS alerts. The moment you deposit check into bank, they say that check received and your account has been credited. They'll be giving the statement. If those who are having that your phone number has been attached to the particular bank where you are having bank transaction, received check, your account has been created, and then you'll be having one subject to realization. Okay, we are giving credit, but that will be adjusted after getting the clearance. See, it means that you are getting a message that the check has been received by us. Same thing, we shall make an entry. Received check from a customer means we shall make an entry. Why nowadays in the colleges also they are sending the message? Schools, when you make payment of your college fees or a school fees, immediately the institutes are sending you message saying that you have received check and subject to realization. Your account will be the amount will be adjusted towards college fees or tuition fees, subject to realization. Okay, subject to realization. We have received your check. That's it. They will be sending the message. And then you'll be getting a message after once it has been adjusted. It will take 1 or 2 days time. So that is why the same thing. Why I am giving detailed explanation is that we shall assume that as if cash is being received. So that is what I am writing a note here. So first let me write an entry here for P. Entry cash account debtor to Shyam account. Debit cash account. What is the first account I shall assume? Cash. And who is the giver? Customer name Shyam. Cash account is a real account, no? By this time you are good in it. Cash account is a real account, or if you are going by that what I have explained earlier, I think I have given 3 stages there. Cash account, Shyam account. Cash account is real, Shyam account is personal. What is the rule of real account debit? What comes in? What is coming in? Cash is coming into the business. Therefore, cash account is to be debited. Who is the giver? Shyam is the giver. Therefore, which account is to be created? Shyam account is to be created, applying the rule of personal account. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. And here I am writing a note. It is assumed that cash has been received since check received is not deposited into bank. It is assumed that cash has been received since check received is not deposited into bank. Okay. Then next, let us go for the next one, Q. This is, we have written the entry on the date of receipt of a check. This is on the date of receipt of a check. This entry is for what? P. Transaction P. Now transaction Q. Deposited Shyam check next day on the date of deposit. What is the entry we should write? Now again, what are two accounts? What are two accounts, my dear friends? Now you are depositing check into bank. Who is the receiver? Bank. Now the second account is what is second account? Tell me. Normally, if you are depositing check on the same day, second account is Shyam. Shyam account has already been adjusted. Now here we shall assume that as if cash is being deposited. Is this clear? When check received is deposited to bank on the next day, we shall assume as if cash is being deposited into bank. So second account is cash account. Come on, bank account is a personal account. Cash account is a real account. Bank account is a personal account. Cash account is a real account. So now come on, tell me the rule of bank, a rule of personal account. Debit the receiver. Who is the receiver? Bank. Therefore, bank account should be debited. Come on, what is the rule of cash? Real account. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. What is going out? Cash is going out. Now, here on the date of deposit, on the date of receipt of a check, we are assuming as if cash is being received. Are you following? On the date of receipt of a check, as if cash is being received, we are assuming. And on the date of deposit, we are assuming as if cash is being deposited. I think this transaction will rarely occur. This actually is a 3-column cash book transaction. In detailed manner, we will be focusing again when we go to 3-column cash book. We will discuss again these things. For the time being, is it clear to all of you? I repeat once again, when check received is not deposited to bank on the same day, we shall assume as if cash is being received. And on the date of deposit, we shall assume as if cash is being deposited. That is what I am writing. It is assumed on the date of deposit of a check as if cash is being deposited. It is assumed on the date of deposit of a check as if cash is being deposited. Okay. Now let me go to transaction next. R. Bank intimated that Shyam's check was dishonored. For the first time, you are coming across the term dishonor. Dishonor means, see, customer has given you check. Shyam has given you check, and that check you have taken the check and you have deposited that check into bank. The person who is issuing check should have bank balance in his account. I'll give you a small example here. Shyam has given us 10,000 rupees check. See, the name of the firm is XYZ and Co. Now this 10,000 rupees has been given to whom? In the form of check XYZ and Co. Then XYZ and Co, what he will be doing? In turn, he will be depositing the check into his bank, say State Bank of India. Okay. State Bank of India. So 10,000 check issued to whom? XYZ. XYZ after receiving the check has deposited into SBI. Then what happened when Shyam is issuing check? Suppose Shyam Bank is ICICI. So which bank check has been issued? ICICI check. ICICI bank check has been issued by Shyam. ICICI check of rupees 10,000 issued by Shyam to XYZ Co, and XYZ and Co deposited into SBI. Then what happened? On the date after depositing the check, SBI will be sending this check back to whom? ICICI Bank. The reason is that it is for clearance, because the check has been issued by a customer belongs to which bank? ICICI Bank. So SBI after depositing the after getting the check will be sending to ICICI Bank, and ICICI Bank will be verifying the account of Shyam. Is verifying the account of Shyam. If Shyam account is having say 5,000 rupees only, in ICICI Bank, Shyam account is having how much? 5,000 balance. But Shyam has issued check for how much? 10,000. 10,000 rupees. Then tell me, is it sufficient or insufficient? That means without having sufficient balance is insufficient. What is the amount you need to pay? 10,000. Without having sufficient balance, Shyam has issued check to XYZ. XYZ won't be knowing about it. And that has been deposited. Then SBI has sent a check to ICICI Bank clearance. Then ICICI in turn says that is sending back check to SBI stating that insufficient funds. They are affixing stamp on the check, insufficient funds. When insufficient funds, what happened? SBI check has been, the SBI is getting a letter from ICICI Bank that due to insufficient funds, check has been dishonored. That in turn SBI is sending the same check back to whom? XYZ. XYZ in turn will be sending the same check to whom? Shyam. This is what is called as dishonored. Simple words, what is dishonor, my dear friends? When you are issuing checks without having sufficient balance, without having sufficient funds, if you issue a check, that check will be dishonored. Dishonor means if somebody is giving a check to you without having proper balance in his account, it is said to be called as dishonored. Dishonor means due to insufficient funds. Due to insufficient funds, check has been bounced. Bounce means getting back. This is the meaning of dishonor. Honor means sufficient fund. Honored. You got the balance? Honored. That means Shyam has issued check. If Shyam account is having balance, his bank account, it will be honored. If Shyam doesn't have bank balance, it is called as dishonored. Okay, bank intimated that Shyam check was dishonored. Come on, the entry here. What is that entry? Now, here two accounts. First of all, let me tell you. One is Shyam account. Then second account is bank account. I told you, State Bank of India is sending check back to whom? Shyam, no? Who is the receiver? Shyam. Shyam is a personal account. Bank account is also personal account. Tell me. Who is the receiver? Shyam. So therefore, which account should be debited? Shyam account should be debited. And then bank account. Who is the giver? Banker. Which bank? State Bank of India. This is the bank of the firm. See, we are recording the books in our transaction, assuming that we are business person. So our banker is giving check back to us. So Who is the giver? Banker is the giver. In the above example, I have told you State Bank of India. You write to bank account. That means we are giving the check to whom? Shyam. Who is the receiver? Shyam. Who is the giver? Bank. This is the entry you should write. Is this clear to all of you? So today I learned the entry for bank intimated that Shyam check was dishonored. Okay, next. These things actually we'll be learning. Here I am writing a note. Transactions P, Q and R will be learned again chapter called as 3-column cash book. Where? In 3-column cash book. In 3-column cash book. This is clear to all of you. Transactions P, Q and R will be learned again in 3-column cash book. Next. S. Transaction number S. Paid Ram by check. Paid Ram by check. Paid Ram by check. Paid Ram by check. Come on, tell me. Paid Ram by check means Ram is one account we are making. That means business is making the payment. Ram account check. Whenever we are using the word check, we shall use the term bank, no? Bank account. Come on. Ram account is personal account. Bank account is personal account. Come on, tell me. Personal account rule. Debit the receiver. Who is the receiver? Ram. Therefore, which account should be debited? Ram account, debtor. Who is the giver? Bank. That means we are making payment to Ram. But who is going to give? Our banker is going to give the amount. So Ram account, debtor to bank account. What is the rule of personal account? Debit the receiver. Who is receiving? Ram. When we are making the payment, who is receiving, my dear friends? Ram. I told you. Receiving aspect. Receiving aspect or receiver? Receiver is Ram. Giver is bank. Then after that, T. Paid salary. Paid salary. Now paid means what is that we are paying? Cash. Salary. First account is salary. Second account is cash. Salary account is nominal account. Cash account is real account. Salary account is nominal account. Cash account is real account. Come on, tell me, what is the principle of nominal account? Debit all expenses and losses. Debit all expenses and losses. So which account should be debited now? Salary. Next. Cash account is real. What is the rule of real? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. When you are paying, what is going out of your business? Cash is going out of your business. Salary account, debtor to cash account. Paid. Rent. Paid rent by check. First account is, tell me, rent. When you are issuing check, we shall use the term bank. You know that rent account is a nominal account. Bank account is a personal account. Rent account is a nominal account. Bank account is a personal account. What is the rule of nominal account? Debit all expenses and losses. Which account should be debited? Rent account. Rent account at our bank account rule. A personal account rule. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Who is the giver? Banker. So to bank. Initially you will be applying. Later on, after one or two problems, I think you should be able to do without going for the first one and second one. Directly you can write the entry. Actually in the examination you are supposed to write this. This is only for initial stages when you are learning for the first time. The 3 steps I am explaining: identification of accounts, classification of accounts, applying the rules, and which account should be debited and which account should be created. Next, V. Goods withdrawn for personal use. Goods withdrawn for personal use. What is the entry for goods withdrawn for personal use? Before I go to entry, personal use means drawings. Drawings account. Then withdrawn, what is that withdrawn? Goods. Whenever goods are withdrawn, from where they withdraw? From purchase goods. Now I have told you already. So we shall use the term purchases. Drawings is personal account. Purchases is real account. This clarity I have given already. Purchases is real account. If purchases is real account, purchase returns also real account. The reason I have told you already. I repeat once again, I explain once again. I have told you that there is some difference of opinions among the authors. Purchases is a nominal account. Nominal account. This is authors, modern authors I said. Modern authors feel that modern authors is different, modern approach is different. Modern authors, they say purchases account is a nominal account. But traditional authors, they say, traditional authors means last 50-60 years. This is what I think some of you are having confusion on that. Modern accounting equation is approach. Modern approach is different. Traditional approach is different. See, modern authors also will follow both approaches, traditional and accounting equation approach. See, they say that purchases account is a nominal account. Purchase account is a nominal account. I'll tell you simple logic. Purchase account is a real account. Why real account means? When you buy the goods till you sell, the goods are with you, it is as good as asset. It is in the form of stock. See, you see that whenever you go to any shop, their stock is not there, they say that. They will be using the term stock. I've already explained the meaning of stock. Purchased goods till you sell, they will be using the term stock. It is being called as inventory. In future, we will be using the term inventory. Similarly, according to the other approach, other perception rather, is that they say that nominal account. Why nominal account? Purchase of goods is a periodical payment. Every day or every month you will be keeping on buying. Whenever you need goods, you are buying. That is their context. But I think you should understand traditional authors. I think you may be having confusion maybe. Traditional authors, I am telling you, approach is different, authors are different, I am telling you. Authors generally they feel that the old authors, during our childhood days, we used to say that our grandparents have learned accounting from Battle Boy. Then comes the era of T.S. Grewal, Shukla and Grewal. Then R.L. Gupta ji, Sri R.L. Gupta. Then S.N. Maheshwari, Jain and Narang. These all are very old authors, renowned authors in India. Their books are very famous books for accounting. Very big, bulky book. Even I remember T.S. Shukla Grewal book we used to have in binding book. 450 rupees in our college days. 450 rupees was huge amount. 450 rupees. They used to follow this principle. Modern authors like Hanif and Mukherjee, P.C. Tulsian, they are modern authors. Agarwal ji, these people they treat as a nominal account. Either you treat as a real account or you treat as a nominal account, effect will be the same. There will not be any change which account should be debited. So I think that is the reason I have given. Anyhow, doesn't matter. You assume as a nominal, you assume as a real, treatment will be the same. But here I am explaining following the treatment given in your ICS study material. So purchase account is a, my dear friends, a real account. Is this clear to all of you? So now what happened? From where you are giving, purchase goods are going out. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. What is going out of the business? Goods are going out of the business. Purchase goods are going out of the business. So drawings account should be debited. Debit the receiver proprietor. Receiving aspect, I told you. Receiver aspect is proprietor. That is in the form of drawings. And what is going out? Purchase goods are going out. To purchases account. Giving aspect. Purchases account. Then next. Paid in advance. Paid in advance to supplier of goods. Paid on advance. Paid means cash. One account is cash. Other account is advance to supplier. Advance to supplier. Here I am using the term not supplier, advance. Supplier word term we use when you are receiving the goods. But you are paying in advance, you know, to get goods sometimes. The goods which are having huge demand. If you want as a trader, you want to buy, you need to pay some advance for booking that. So we need to use the term advance, not supplier. Advance to supplier. And then what is it? You are paying cash. If you are issuing check, we shall use the term bank. Advance to supplier. Okay, now let us see here. Advance to supplier. Personal account. Cash is real account. I repeat once again. Advance to supplier, personal account, cash is real account. Come on. Who is the receiver? Personal account rule. Debit the receiver. Who is the receiver? Supplier. Why you are paying to supplier? It is advance. So you are writing here. Advance to supplier account debtor. Advance to supplier account debtor to real account. What goes out? Cash is going out to cash account. Advance to supplier account debtor to cash account. Okay, then here I am giving a note to you. Suppose After giving advance that has not been given, I'm adding here. I'm adding here a one point I want to add here. Paid an advance to supplier. Say after 2 days or after 3 days you got the goods. Suppose after paying advance, few days later goods has been received. Suppose after paying advance few days later goods has been received. Like we say advance booking, the same thing. Let us assume that 10,000 rupees advance has been given and you got 10,000 rupees worth of goods. Later on we can discuss 10,000 rupees goods have been advance has been given, 20,000 worth of goods. These all are high-end transaction. I don't want to confuse right now. Let me assume that 10,000 rupees advance has been given. You got 10,000 rupees worth of goods back. Then the entry will be, suppose after paying advance few days later goods has been received. Then we write goods has been received from whom? Supplier. Then we need to use the term purchases. And we can't use the term cash. Cash has already been given. Now we need to again use the term advance to supplier. Advance to supplier. Are you following? Then purchase account is a real account. This is a personal account. Come on, debit what comes in, what is coming into the business? Purchases, real account rule. Who is the giver? Supplier. Since we have given already advance, no? To advance to supplier. Are you following? Because why you are getting, how you are getting goods? Because we have already our advances with them. That means you need not pay. You need not pay. Why? Because already amount has been paid here as advance. Amount has already been paid here as advance. When advance has already been paid, why should you make a payment? So it is adjusted from advance to supplier. Okay. I'm also giving 1 or 2 transactions, maybe too early for the beginners, but I think you hope you can understand. You need to practice, my dear friends. But the moment more number of problems you practice, it is very easy. Accounting is very easy. No need to worry about it. Then X. This time it is opposite. Received an advance. Received an advance. Received an advance from customer. Now this time it is different. Previously we have given advance. Now I think when we are receiving, what is that we are receiving? We are assuming that cash is being received. Cash account. Then you write advance from customer. Cash account is real account. This is personal account. Cash account is real account. The next account is personal account. What is the rule of real account? Debit what comes in. Cash is coming into business. Cash account debtor. Advance from customer. Who is the giver? Customer. So to advance from customer account. cash account debtor to advance from customer account. Next, again same here. I want to give a note here. Like here I have explained. Suppose after receiving advance, few days later we delivered the goods to customer. Suppose after receiving advance few days later we delivered the goods to customer. Let me tell you, see, we have received 5,000 advance from customer. Stock was not there. We say you give advance and we deliver the goods as soon as we get the stock. After 3 days we were able to deliver the goods for 5,000 rupees. Come on, tell me. Then the customer is not going to make a payment because he has already made a payment to us. So then what is that we need to use the term? Advance is with us, no? With us means with business. Advance from customer account, first account. And second account is that we are delivering the goods means when we are giving the goods it is nothing but sales, no? When we are giving the goods it is nothing but sales, no? So the second account is sales account. Come on, let us see. Advance from customer is a personal account. Sales account is a real account. Come on, rule. Debit the receiver customer. He has already given them advance to us. So advance from customer account debtor. That means already with us, with business, we have received advance from customer, no? So again we are not going to receive any cash. So that is being adjusted already. Advance from customer. I hope you are following. See, we are business persons. We have got 5,000 rupees advance. I think you can bet you will understand it better. Like you see, we are nowadays we are whatever we want we are buying through online, no? Online shopping, Amazon or Flipkart, whatever it may be. You book an order, you make payment through your debit card or credit card. After getting the item, are you making payment again? No, because our money is always with them. They will be saying after within 1 week or within 10 days you will be getting the item which you have booked. The same is the case. So already amount has been received from customer, that is in the form of advance from customer account. Is this clear? Then real account, what is going out? Goods are going out to sales account. Debit the receiver customer, that is adjusted from advance, that is why advance from customer account to sales account. Okay, I think these two transactions I thought of just sharing with you, even though you don't have that those two transactions in the material. Next, paid interest on loan. Paid interest on loan. See, you are taken loan, my dear friends. When you are taken loan, you need to pay interest. So paid means cash. Interest payment is an expense. So first account is interest account. Second account is cash account. Interest account, nominal. Cash account, real. What is the rule of nominal account? All expenses will be debited. Interest account debtor to cash account. You know real account principle, what goes out, what is going out? Cash is going out. Now, paid installment of loan. So this is important. Principal is different, installment is different. Installment of loan. Installment of loan, whenever you are paying loan, since we had two different things, interest has been separated, installment, say principal amount, then we shall use the term loan account. Loan account. Second account is cash account. If you are giving cash, if you are issuing check, you should use the term bank. Now we discuss about installment is including interest, etc. We discuss that later on as a combined entry. For the time being, this interest is separate. Here paid installment of loan means his intention is to convey that this is principal amount. You know, principal amount is different. If I have taken a loan of 1 lakh rupees, that 1 lakh rupees is called as principal. If I am paying 10% interest periodically per annum, 10,000 rupees is called as interest. Whenever I am making payment, I have to make payment towards installment. Say 1 lakh I have to clear in say 20 installments. 20 installment. Each month I have to pay 2,000 rupees. Sorry, 1 lakh rupees, 20. Each month I have to pay 5,000 rupees. And periodically I have to pay interest, say 12% interest per annum. Every month I have to pay 5,000, every month I have to pay interest, like that. Of course, how to calculate that interest, that is a different issue. Just to explain the concept, I am telling you. So, this is principal amount. When principal amount is there, we need to use the term loan. Come on, loan account is personal account. Cash account is real account. Come on, debit the receiver, loan. Loan means XYZ loan, bank loan, whatever it may be. Loan account debtor, since we don't have the from whom we have taken the loan. If name of the person is given, if it is a bank loan, we shall use. If XYZ loan, we shall use the word XYZ loan. Loan account debtor. What is going out? Cash is going out. So which account should be created? Cash account. Real account principal debit. What comes in? Credit. What goes out? Okay. So I think today's class I've completed. Initially I'm going a bit slow, my dear friends, because for the beginners you need to have a clarity. Journal entries are very, very important. The journal entries are oxygen to subject accounting. I think you will understand the importance. Journal is oxygen. If you are not good in general, it's oxygen to accounting. You are not good in accounting. First you should know how to record. Record goes wrong, everything goes wrong. So that is why I'm not in a hurry. Maybe a couple of classes more I wish to continue with this, but small request I want to, small advice I want to give you. From next class onwards, what I do, I hope you are maintaining separate notebook for that. Even if you are, those who are good in commerce, you are from commerce stream, even if you don't maintain, I don't say that don't maintain. If you are not maintained, okay, leave it. At least from now onwards, you do one thing. So before you come to the next class, I'll be telling you next class which problem I'm going to take up. Next class I'm going to take exercise number 3, and couple of days I will be also giving some examples to explain. So it is page number 12 of PDF that has been sent to you. There you will be having page number. Third problem, actually second problem I thought of taking up in the last class itself, because I want to have a detailed discussion about second problem as a last one, because we'll be looking at traditional approach, accounting equation approach. That I'll be taking as a last problem. Before that, I think you need bit of practice. So what I'm doing is that I'll be taking up, my dear friends, problem number 3. Problem number 3 I'll be taking up page number 12. So before you come to the class, you first note down the problem so that I need not scroll back again to tell you that transaction. So have the notes with you, then watch my the explanation, then you can copy down later on, or simultaneously after completion of writing the entry also you can copy down. From next class onwards, I won't be going for classification like this. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 1 is identify account, step number 2 classify account, step number 3 apply the golden rules. I think by this time you are good in it, right? So thank you. We'll meet in the next class.